All right, here we have 12.5 volume. I just want to refresh your memories on what volume is. Volume is a measure of the space inside a solid figure. An example of a solid figure would be a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism is a 3D shape. It is going to have 3 dimensions that you can multiply together, which is why we know that our formula, volume equals length times width times height. I wanted to refresh our memories on some terminology that was brought to my attention the other day, and those terms are perimeter and area. And so I'm going to give you a little refresher on those real fast before we move into volume. Here I have this rectangle. It is a 2-dimensional rectangle with the dimensions of 4 centimeters by 3 centimeters. If I was asked to find the perimeter of this, I would just simply add all of the sides around. So I would add 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 3, which is 14. So the perimeter of the shape is 14 centimeters. Now the area of this rectangle is where you take the 4 times the 3, and that's to find the space inside this 2-dimensional shape. So 2-dimensional shape's area is the 4 times 3, and that equals 12 centimeters squared. The reason this is centimeters squared is because you're multiplying this centimeter times this centimeter. So how many centimeters do you see? 2 squared. Okay? Now on to volume. Okay, we learned that the formula for volume is length times width times height. So here we have length right here. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Times width right here. 1, 2, 3. Times our height, how tall it is, which is 1, 2, 3. So if I take my 4 times 3 times 3, I get 12 times 3, which equals 36. So the volume of this figure is 36. Now the units for this one are centimeters cubed, because here you have 3 centimeters, here you have 3 centimeters, and here you have 3 centimeters. So how many centimeters? 1, 2, 3, and when you multiply them, you get centimeters cubed. We'll do one more example. Here we have another rectangular prism, and we have our length 10 centimeters, width 6 centimeters, and our height 5 centimeters. So when we go ahead and we multiply length times width times height, we have 60 times 5. Now watch this. I know that if I have a 0 here, I can just multiply my 6 times my 5. So 6 times 5 is 30. And then I can't forget about my 0. I have to add my 0 to the end. So it's going to be 300 centimeters. And don't forget our little exponent of cubed. Why? Because we have 6 centimeters times 10 centimeters times 5 centimeters. So there's 3 centimeters that we multiplied, which gives us centimeters cubed. All right? I hope that this helps you. Remember that your units right here are always very important as your answer. Keep in mind that volume equals length times width times height. As long as you have that and you know all of your information, you guys will do great. Now let's say that they give us this rectangular prism and they tell us that the base area is 20 centimeters squared already. We need to find the volume, and they inform us that the height is 3 centimeters. What do you think you can do? Well, based on our knowledge of area, you know that this times this gave us our 20 centimeters squared. And we know that with volume, all we need is this times this times this. So we have our base and we have our missing component. So all you would have to do is multiply your 20, which is your base area, times your 3. So what's 20 times 3? Well, that's 60. And then I have my centimeters. And now because I have a centimeter square times a centimeter, I would have a centimeters cubed. Don't let silly problems fool you. You know what area is. You know what volume is. As long as you know your formulas, you will definitely be fine. So go ahead and get your notebooks out, and we're going to take down some formula notes. All right, so perimeter is length plus width plus length plus width on a two-dimensional figure. Area is length times width on a two-dimensional area. And volume is length times width times height on a three-dimensional figure. Once you have your notes done, go ahead and move on to the next activity.